Safar architecture. The production of high-tech fabrics for the areas of architecture and design opens new dimensions in the world of architectonic conceptualization. The materiality and functional properties of these architectural fabrics allow architects, planners and designers to realize projects with their own personal signatures. Safar architecture. Safar's core competence is precision, the precision of the mesh aperture and of the fabric structure, which also generates aesthetic properties. We had absolutely no idea of this until the architects discovered this fabric. We then gathered their input and developed very specific architectural fabric. Riyadh, the capital of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The King Fahd National Library is one of the central public buildings and was constructed in the 70s. Gerber Architekten International won the 2002 competition for sustainable development. This was an annex to an old, existing library. We positioned the new construction to encase the old building, so that, upon conclusion, only the new building would be visible for the most part. This area, which we consider an urban space, should receive daylight. And it was very important to us that this urban character of an urban outdoor space could also be experienced from within the library, meaning we needed open sky over these areas. We wanted to have the most homogeneous light and, in this case, translucent surface possible. Though we did not want everything happening above the ceiling to be visible. The goal was high translucency with very low transparency and very large field sizes. We consciously chose to specialize in high-quality raw materials. In this case, these are fluoropolymers, which feature unique material properties. Then, with our weaving technology, which allows for very fine weaving, and the corresponding equipment, which we also develop specifically, we can offer fabrics that really have unique properties.
Ist es dann möglich, wirklich Gewebe anzubieten, die einmalige Eigenschaften haben?
Technically, a ceiling must be free of burns, must be stable, resistant to dirt, vandal-proof, and so on and so forth. Now the fabric has turned out to be very, very interesting. It has also been tested by the Swiss Material Testing Institution. We used this project to request certification that when it is on fire, the fabric pulls back, does not emit smoke, and nothing falls. It's fantastic, right?
Die Herausforderung ist,
the challenge is to achieve consistent product quality, and this project is clear proof of how precisely we are able to produce, regardless of the production batch, and that we are in control of the entire process. Of course, the same applies to the system that we also developed for this project, to install the fabric and keep it tensioned, so that these properties are not lost and the aesthetic qualities are retained.
Dass man nichts von diesen Eigenschaften verliert und dass die ganze Ästhetik erhalten bleibt.
The system was designed to enable very quick assembly. We can install 10 by 25 meter fields in 10 minutes in a tension-free state, minimizing the construction times and, above all, minimizing disruption to other technical crews.
Minimieren und vor allem auch das Stören der anderen Gewerke minimieren. Der Kerngedanke
The central idea for the system is based on the fact that the fabric is threaded into the ceiling while loose and is then gradually tensioned.
Und erst danach sukzessive ausspannt.
For this purpose, we have developed a special aluminium profile which has 3 parts.
Das ist dreiteilig.
The first part is attached to the main structure.
Befestigt.
Then there is a so-called tensioning part, which is inserted into the first part and hangs downward, unmounted.
Und es hängt lose nach unten bei dem Einfädel.
During the threading process, it can move slightly inwards, preventing tension from occurring in the membrane from the beginning.
Von Beginn an da ist. Erst in dem letzten
These tensioning profiles are gradually tensioned in the final step, which transfers the forces into the membrane.
Kräfte in die Membrane eingetragen.
Also es fängt
Of
natürlich
course,
an bei
everything begins with the architect. Architects are our most important partners and must clearly formulate their needs for their project, find out which fabric we can provide them with, which fabric is suitable for it, whether a special fabric must be developed, or whether we already have it in our portfolio. Then comes the system question. Which system can I use to realize the architect's vision? And there we actually collaborate with engineering offices and planners specialized in the area of textile architecture in membrane construction, and they develop a corresponding system on our behalf.
Die entwickeln dann in unserem Auftrag das System dazu.
Yes, of course, fabric is a difficult material because fabric in itself is not stable. On the other hand, it has certain properties such as light and acoustics. This is a new challenge for the architect. How can I use the fabric? How do I use it legally? What are the regulations in the building industry? The architect, of course, has to meet requirements, but is also allured because the fabric contains special optical and functional elements that the architect would like to use. For example, lightness or stability, or resistance to collision, UV resistance. What we actually consider to be our task is to be perceived as a partner for the architect. This is where Safar architecture positions itself to be, and this is the vision we are working on. We want to be perceived as a partner for technical, aesthetic, and unique fabrics for textile architecture.
Textile Architektur.